Cool, what you do?
Joe, how are you guys?
Good, thanks.
Yeah, good.
I might be wrong, but I think this question goes for Jes and Maisie, as you are the only two that have directed episodes, correct? Mm-hmm. Correct. How has that process gone, like that week, and how has your job just been completely different in every aspect?
How has it been, sorry, my love, how has it been completely different? Is that what you said?
Like directing yourself as to where like you're just being directed.
Well, you have a really interesting experience because you were acting and directing. I want to hear about that because I'd already left.
Yeah, I mean, it changes everything and upends your whole experience because now you have two brains, two hats, two like a million things to worry about as a director and as a storyteller and all of that, and then you're jumping into scenes to try to do good work, which is hard. Luckily, I mean, the first episode was harder because I think I had all the wedding stuff. I was in that on top of just brain capacities, just semantics of how it's done, of me running behind the monitor. I mean, we had very fast days and we're getting through a tremendous amount of material and just trying to get behind the monitor on the Wave Rider in a huge, couldn't have been crazier, a huge dress, and then, action cut. I mean, I would just start going cut and action on camera, and then did we get it? There was someone up there that was gonna say yes. So the learning curve was huge. Luckily, our family is so overqualified, our Legends family. Our DP directs, our ACAM has directed, our first ADs direct, all of the cast, I think we all have, I always call it, I can't say the acronym anymore, it's the time in the saddle, which is what, when you ride horses, they say, you need time, we all have time in the saddle. And so all these people have spent countless hundreds of thousands of hours on set. So we're all there as a family, everybody's very professional. It's not like you're trying to do some indie or whatever, but it was a huge learning curve. I've been trying to direct since my last show I was on, and probably since I was 9 years old with little Lego stop motion figures. So my brain felt at home, but it was certainly, I just felt like leaps and bounds. You know how when you take on something in your life and you can literally feel your brain growing? That's what it felt like. Yeah, that answers your question.
Yeah, absolutely. I think also like those moments of absolute panic are kind of magical. Like when something, when you completely run out of time, or something's gone completely wrong, or something doesn't work, or someone's sick or something, and you have to just figure it out in the moment. And it's like your brain expands, and you just it's like a superhuman suddenly, and you're trying to figure out 5 different things at once, how to make it work. And then when it works, often weirdly, it's always better than it would have been if things had gone to plan. So that is the magic that I love, and our show is so good at that, because that's when everyone has to come together, and the whole spider web is really cohesive.
Shakes you out of your plan.
Yeah.
That's when the magic happens a lot of the time.
Absolutely.
As long as you can keep it mentally and emotionally together.
Do you have a particular moment where that happened to you? Can you remember?
Well, I remember the day when we were shooting the time loop stuff with Katie out, and it's COVID, so normally this was the one with the Franz Ferdinand episode. And we had to do a whole parade, and normally we would have something like 200 background, and we were only allowed 60. So we're trying to shoot people, jiggle them around, switch them around. Okay, who was at the front? Let's hide you at the back, move you down, and we'll do another shot. And then it started pouring with rain, and obviously it has to match the scenes. And then we're running out of time, and it's those moments when you just want to be like, okay, can I pass the baton to someone else? Yeah. That it's you, it's all on you, and your AD staring at you like, what are we going to do? And you just got to find a way through it. So we just started really block shooting everything and making sure that we got everything in this direction, and we'll just figure it out and see how far we can get the other way afterwards. And it worked, and I'm really happy with how it turned out, but it was absolutely terrifying.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing answer, thank you. I was lucky to see that one of the characters are actually directing the episode. It just makes it that much better, and you guys do a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I was going to share a quick, one of the terrifying things that happened, which I love this story because you're with your friends, you're with your colleagues, you're wanting to do good by them, and you have all this preparation, as you know, and it was the second episode I directed where it was like Legends versus Legends, so it was with people head and motion control and just stuff that was blowing my brain up anyway, and doubles and all of that and schedule. But I had this scene with Nick Zano and Katie as the Legends. Katie was White Canary, obviously, but Nick had the big arms. He was Robo, Austrian accent, steel. And it was like 3 pages of just exposition, and we all know that that's hard. Like, that's some of the hardest stuff that we do, I think, as actors, to try to make keep you guys from changing the channel and give the information, but care, right? Don't you think it's hard? And I was like, oh, how can I help them? Knowing it might get chopped up, and all the brains, you're like all the hats and thinking about all the other things to just help your colleagues look great and not fail them. And so I had this whole, there was really not much to do, thinking that they weren't going to do anything. I had this whole elaborate camera move. You know, they were in a tavern and I was just going to sweep around them and around them and around them and around them, and just, so that you guys were entertained and everybody got the information. And like, you know, I had all my shot list, and we block. And Nick comes in and they're like, and I don't say, go stand there. I'm like, let's read it and let's go, let's get it on the floor. And Nick comes in and I'm thinking they're gonna stand in the tavern and talk. And he just starts walking around the tavern, moving chairs around. And I'm like, and I just sweat, just like sweat. And I'm looking at our DP and like, I know that I'm shooting around 360. We've already talked about we're shooting 360. It's a lighting thing. It's like a reset up. And I'm going, oh my God, are we doing standard coverage? Why is he moving around like that? And I, you know, wanted to make it interesting, but immediately the terror swallowed, and thank God it was our friends. And I just said, I had a totally different plan. Can we do this? Can we do this? And leaned in to the fact that he brought a completely different energy to that scene. He'd prepared like a masculine energy. What he was doing, he was clearing the space to beat the crap out of her. But as a female preparer of that scene, all I read was like, what are they gonna do? I can't even think of business for them. And so we leaned into it, and it was so much better.
Moving the GLs around.
Yeah, and I was like, this is great. I mean, editor poor Andrew was like, what the? He's never in the same place at the same time doing the same thing. I'm like, but it was great. We shot it in 30 minutes. Like, yeah, just like terror. Anyway, fun little behind the scenes story.
All right, we have time for maybe, yeah, you can clap for that.
Oh, there's no problem.
Hi, I'm Jes, huge fan. Love you so much. Yeah. We had a question.
Wait.
Question. We're huge fans. We're just wondering if you guys were down to do another crossover on Batwoman, because we're just huge fans. And
Thank you so much. Love you more.
I don't know if you guys.
Is that show still going?
I don't know, maybe you can tell us.
Yeah.
Do I know you?
You guys tell us first.
I mean, I'm down. Do you know someone that we can like?
It would be great. I don't know. I feel like the Alice and Mary characters are.
Probably those two characters would be the coolest.
To cross over.
Yeah, they're our favorites.
But yeah.
I'm in.
Love you guys.
Huge fans. Rachel and Nicole and Batwoman. What the heck?
Happy birthday, Rachel!
Happy birthday, Rachel.
Happy birthday!
All right, we have time for about one or two more questions. So this question is actually for Brandon. I'm a huge Chuck fan. How did you feel when you were looking at that arc of your character, going from the really kind coach to the murderous villain?
Yeah, I was against it. I mean, I signed on because I love the show. We were huge fans of the show before, I took a meeting about it. And I loved it because it was comedy, and I wanted